In this video we're going to talk about prepping your clay for storage. So to start out, here's what your setup should look like when we're done. You should have your name labeled on it so it's easy to see. You'll have a can wrapped with paper around it, and you'll also have a bat, which is a wooden surface on the inside of the bag that we're going to wrap another bag around so that the wood doesn't touch the clay. So the first step in doing this is getting a bat. A bat is a surface that your clay will sit on top of and be stored with. So what we have are some wooden surfaces that look like this. This is our bat. Sometimes it's plastic, a lot of times it's wood. The problem with wood is that if I leave the clay on this spot, it will suck up the moisture in the clay and the clay will dry out. Here's a key point for this video. Clay that is too dry is hard to work with. It gets really cracky and it doesn't work very well for what we're doing. So what we need to do is we need to actually wrap this in a plastic bag, in another plastic bag like this, so that the wood will not suck out the moisture in the clay. So I'm just going to wrap this bat with the plastic bag, try and get a nice flat surface like that. And then I'm going to tape that down. You don't want to use too much tape, but enough so that it sticks it down. You can definitely overuse tape when you're doing this. So be careful that you don't overuse the tape. There. Now when I put my clay on there, it won't actually touch the wooden surface. It will be protected by the plastic. Next step is we need to label a plastic bag with your name on it. When you're labeling this, you need to have your period followed by your first initial and then your last name on the piece of tape. So it will look like this. You'll have your period, maybe it's period 7B, your first initial, followed by your last name. When you stick this onto your bag, you need to make sure that it's very visible, that people that are looking for their projects can see that this is not their project. So then we'll put our plastic bag wrapped bat inside the bag, and we have one last step to do and then we're ready. And that is to find your can. Remember, we're making a mug that is using a slab. The slab of clay will wrap around this can. So in preparation for that, we need to cut a piece of newspaper so that it wraps around it. If I were to wrap the clay around this can without the paper, it will stick to the can. So having this paper on here allows us to take the clay off of the can. The can is our mold. So to cut the paper, here's what I recommend you do. Get a piece of newspaper. You don't need that much. Get your can, put it on the bottom, roll the can all the way till it covers the whole thing. Then get something you can mark where that part is, like a marker or a pencil is fine. I'll just mark where I need to cut it. The top of the can's right here. I'm going to mark that mark as well. So then I just need to cut a rectangle out there for that. So then I'll just use my scissors. Cut, 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 cut. I'd wrap it around the can and tape it like that. It should be nice and neat. You don't need to, you shouldn't have lots of extra stuff. It shouldn't be super loose. It should be nice and neat around your can. Then our last step here is to put your can with the paper wrapped around it on the bat, in the bag. Position this on the shelf so that we can see your name to know that this is your stuff.